Hi, Jesus. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Nicole. I'm the social media coordinator for the All American High School Film Festival, and I'm so excited to hear all about your film. Congratulations on being a 2025 official selection.
Thank you very much. It's also my pleasure to be here, to attend this interview.
Well, that's awesome. So, could you just briefly tell me about yourself, like where you're from, where you went to high school, and like what made you want to do filmmaking?
Yeah, no problem. My name is Haisu, and you can also call me Vincent. I'm from Shenzhen, China, so it's like a southern city in China. But my original ethnicity is a Lisu Chinese, but not a Han Chinese, which is like a ethnic group in Yunnan. It's another province in China. The film that I made like for this film festival was mainly about the cultural heritage and cultural experience in mega city like in Shenzhen, and also the reason that I want to um, approach filmmaking because I think visual approach is a very useful and good way to protect and spread culture. So that's why apply, attended this film festival. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, really quick, we're gonna do a little activity. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, I'm gonna set up my timer here, and it's gonna be like an elevator pitch. So, you're gonna have 60 seconds to tell me about the genre, the main theme, and the hook of your film.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Three, two, one, go.
So the genre of this film is a documentary. So um recorded how I felt my like cultural heritage is a bit um like misrepresented or like silenced in the megacity in Shenzhen. I'm trying to dig my roots, which is a Lisu culture, in my trip back to Yunnan, Nujiang Autonomous Region. And this is also the theme, I think. Yeah, this is the whole theme of this film, and the hook of this film is the trip that I'm going from Shenzhen back to Yunnan, and this is the whole story and that connect like my interviews with local musicians and like flipping through photos and pictures of my family and my grandparents. Yeah.
Awesome, you did that like right on time. My alarm was about to go off. That's awesome. So, you said this is a documentary about, where you're from. Like, tell me about like the importance of that to you to talk about your culture.
Um, of course. So I think um, like knowing where you come from and have the cultural identity and as a representation of yourself is very important, especially in this society like right now because we have lots of social medias and we can scroll through TikToks or YouTube and see like everything that happens around the world. However, if we cannot keep like our own cultural identity and be like sustain our cultural practices, like the world will lose colors. Like the world will lose some like colorful things. It's not just only Lisu culture, but every culture in the world are equally important. Some culture might have like more people, more population than others, but that doesn't mean like they have a higher value. But like so, this film was made to honor the cultural heritage of a minority ethnic group in China. But like also this is also might be an inspiration. I want it to be an inspiration for like people to do their own like recordings of no matter what visual or textual recordings of their own culture. Yeah, and I also got inspirations from like one of my friends where he was a Manchu from the northeast of China, but he did it in a like a essay research paper.
That's so cool. So, what was like the biggest challenge when making this?
I think the biggest challenge is like planning the interviews with musicians because like Yunnan is a bit of a remote province in China and the road is not in a really well condition, and it's very hard to connect to the local musician because they live sparsely in the mountain. So the I eventually overcame this challenge from help of um, my parents and also my aunts and uncles. They live in Yunnan, and they know someone, and the someone they know also knows someone. So this is like a web of relations, and then I like after connecting with many people, and I eventually got to arrange like interviews with local musicians and scholars. Yeah, so the arrangement process was tedious and sometimes like exhausting because you thought someone might know someone, but they actually don't, and you just sometimes feel you want to give up. But like for the sake of the theme, like I mentioned, to protect the culture, I think that's worthy.
So I know that you mentioned that your friend was an influence on you making this. Is there anybody else that like might have influenced you to make this, like a director, filmmaker, anything like that?
Um, it's hard to say like a specific director because actually before making this film, I wasn't like really a film guy, but I started this project because like my parents said that maybe like filming and like visual aid is a very useful way to for you to like preserve your cultures. But like at the beginning of this project, I wasn't that determined to do this. But however, during the filming of this, I had uh, a like one of my mom's friend who was like kind of instructing me of how to do this because he was also like he had made some films for himself like for his fun, but like we went to the trip to Yunnan together, and I was chatting with him like the whole project, and like how I was a little bit undetermined like if I really want to do this very seriously, but like he was like, yeah, you should because it's actually a lot of fun. So what do you mean like a lot of fun? You have to travel far, you have to make films about it, you have to think of question, you have to edit it. But like he said, like that's where the fun resides. You don't. It's not like writing a research paper where you go online and you um go to Google and you type and you sit in a place. But in a real life, when you really go out there and interact with people, you encounter problems and you think of how to solve them. That's where that also the fun comes in. So like, oh yeah, all right, let's try this. And he actually really inspired me. Like after that conversation, I got really like into this projects. Yeah.
Well, that's so great. So for my final question, why should people make sure to see your film at our festival?
Um, I think the reason that people like need that my film is worth like playing in a festival is um maybe they will also get inspired to protect their own culture, and I think that's very valuable and also important in a society and for their own culture. Like um, I know some of the people like in the United States is more like a cultural melting pot than in China. Like most of in China, you don't have that much like heterogeneous ethnics. Like mostly Han, like 90% of people are Han Chinese, but in the U.S., like lots of people are I don't know, like some are Latino, some are like Asian Americans. So I think this film is very suitable to the whole societal like demographic makeup of the United States. Like it's very lots of ethnicities all going to all living together and working out their future. So that's the first reason. And second, like I hope like people can also use this film as an inspiration. I know like some maybe it's not like the best cultural film that they will see like, but I maybe they will like this might be something they also want to pursue to go to to go back to their own country or own place and interact with people local people and solve their own difficulties. Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. We're so excited to feature your work in our festival. And for those attending the fest, you can see Sue on Saturday, October 18th during screening number 44 at the AMC Empire 25 Theaters in Times Square, New York City. We can't wait to see you guys in October.